live to everybody or just live?
It's live for everybody. I clicked the right button this time.
Awesome. Meeting is now streaming live on the Book of Faces.
Done. Redirecting to Facebook Live page. Hey, we're here. We did it.
All right. You got us going. You
Here,
can
give me a
see
sec.
Commentos.
I'm going to make it so that I can. Oh no, shoot. Be my friend. Dad, do you want to tell him what we're doing?
Yeah. So what do you mean?
Oh no, wait. Ah!
Right, you got us going. That's funny.
That was awful.
So now
Okay.
the sound is off on that, right? But you're
Yes,
still
we're good now.
recording because it
Yeah,
says it's
we're good.
recording. Okay. So let's just go.
Yeah, go ahead. Start, Dad.
And you want me to pause also?
Just for like 3 seconds. You don't have to do the long
Gotcha.
pause you did last time.
Understood. Welcome, interwebs, to episode 17 of Sis and Big Pop's Culture.
Woo!
I am Big Pops, aka Todd Turner, aka Mosaic Fan Art.
And I am Sis, aka Hannah Joe. And together we are an adult daughter and father duo. Every week we dive into all things geek, nerd, and fandom. Every episode is family friendly.
We didn't do the twist.
I didn't. Well, you asked me. You kind of asked me not to this time.
I didn't know. I mean, I didn't ask you
Okay.
not to. I just
You
was
kind
like,
of did.
well, there is no twist. The twist is there is no twist.
Twist is, we have a lot of things to talk about today. We are going to be talking about some news, what's happening in pop culture news. Dad has his pull list. He's going to talk about the comic books that he's gotten this week and what he found interesting. We don't have a comic book to read today. Because of that, we're doing 2 different pieces of visual and auditory media, aka film
AKA
and television.
What is that? Just
I'm being silly. So we're going to talk about a
PG-13
TV
movie.
movie for grown-ups. King Kong Skull Island. It might just be Kong Skull Island.
It's just
to be
called
honest.
Skull
That's
Island.
what I thought.
Yeah.
And a TV show that says it's for kids, but Dad and I have some qualms. Called Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous. It's a Netflix original.
Cretaceous.
Cretaceous. That's what I said.
I almost say crustacean, like Krusty Krab. It's Cretaceous.
like a lobster. Cretaceous.
Yeah.
Camp Cretaceous. Excuse me.
Are no lobsters.
There's no lobsters
there are
in this.
Water-dwelling
dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs. Yeah.
So
let's get started.
Yeah, I have. Do you have some news?
Nerd news.
Doop-a-doop.
I always like doing that. Oh yeah, I got plenty of news.
I do too. Do you want me to go first, or do you want to go first?
I don't care. Here's what I didn't know if you saw where the Justice League Snyder Cut has an official release date.
Yeah, I did.
So March
something. 18th, 21.
Yeah, and it'll take 7 days to watch.
So
is
it forever long?
I think it's like 4 hours long. I don't know.
That's bonkers. Well, there were 3 different posters that were released. One is like the Justice League logo and rubble. One is like a film canister that had been broken open and there's like film and it's covered in rubble. And another one, it's called the Risen poster, because each of these posters have its own name, is a Justice League flag pushed out of rubble, and it's supposed to be reminiscent of the death of Superman, like how his like cape is.
Well, we talked about that.
And we talked about that, and I thought that was really interesting and wanted to tell you that there's a poster, the Risen
I'll have to look that up because
Snyder
I haven't seen
Cut
that.
poster that's supposed to be reminiscent or an homage to the death of Superman.
A nod to the death of Superman.
Yeah, I thought that was
Funeral
cool.
for a Friend in the Reign of Superman. Yes.
Yep.
It's sort of like
Very
Pet
cool.
Cemetery Superman. He comes out of there like that, where he comes all bonkers until he brings in the secret weapon, which was
secret weapon.
Yes, don't you remember? Batman tells Alfred to bring in the secret weapon, and it's Lois at the end.
Oh, yes.
They're getting their butt kicked. The best part of that whole entire scene is when
his mustache.
The Flash is running, and Superman turns, and you could see him, and the Flash is like, "Oh no!" I love that.
That was
part.
Funny. That was a funny scene.
So I liked Justice League. I granted there's a lot of people that didn't. But
it was not excellent.
It was fun. I enjoyed it.
We watched
it. Wasn't excellent, but definitely. Plus, we have HBO Max. So,
Woo!
You also saw they're doing a Cloverfield sequel.
I saw that too. I'm not big into those types of movies. Did you watch Cloverfield?
I watched Cloverfield. I watched the one that they did that was a Netflix original that came out.
Is that the one in the house?
Space? No, that was like Cloverfield Lane. I didn't watch that because I don't like those kind of movies.
It looked like a horror film, and I didn't want to watch it.
Right. I just watched the last 20 minutes of it where she escapes and you get to see what happens and how it coincides with the...
Well, it's for those of you who don't know what Cloverfield is, because it came out when I was in middle school, perhaps.
I don't know.
It came out a while ago. And it is
J.J. Abrams, isn't it?
Is it Aliens?
Yes. Yeah.
Aliens, and the first one's filmed as if like you're holding like a video camera.
Right.
And it's like first person.
Found footage. It's like a found footage thing.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah.
And actually the sequel that they did that was a Netflix original movie that came out, I think it was after Super Bowl one year. Because they promoted throughout the Super Bowl the entire time. Mm-hmm. And it basically was a prequel that shows how the creatures ended up there in the first place.
Okay. No, I'm with you. That makes sense. That's
so
interesting.
That was a prequel, so now they're doing a Cloverfield sequel.
Dad.
What?
You aren't going to care about this, but I'm sure.
You don't know. I might.
I'm sure that there are some lovely listeners out there who need to know this information. And
yes, one of our 7 listeners.
To all the boys I've loved before, the last movie comes out on February 12th.
What is that?
It is a Netflix original, and it's based on it's based on a book that I read when I was in high school, and it comes out.
Okay, so they're turning it into a book.
It comes out on the 12th.
Wait, what do you mean it's the last one? So they've like done...
There's 3. There's 3 books.
She's loved 3 boys
3 movies
before?
What she did is she wrote letters to all of the boys that she had crushes on when she was growing up. And in high school, her little sister found them and sent them to all of the boys that she had crushes on when her older sister goes to college. And it's the shenanigans that ensue after that.
Nice. All I know is the Julio Iglesias song, "To all the girls I've loved before, come knocking up and down my door."
Well, it's coming out, Dad. It's coming out on the 12th.
That's all I know. Well, that's cool. On Netflix?
On Netflix. I'm stoked about it.
What about Netflix hitting it all up? Do you know what Borderlands is?
Yes.
It's like a video game?
Yep. Video game. Know it.
I don't know nothing about it.
But I know what it's called.
Do you know that they're making a movie and Kevin Hart is the star?
What? No.
That's what I saw.
Weird.
He's going to talk like this. He's going to yell whole time like he did in Jumanji. You like how I did that? That was my
Jumanji.
Is that
was
the
awesome,
worst?
though, man.
I did love Jumanji.
No, Jumanji rocks.
I never saw the second one.
You're for the Jumanji reboot. The second one's very good too. Weird. Yeah. You didn't want to watch it because you thought it was going to be awful, and then it came out on TV and watched it and thought it was hysterical.
I think the issue with that is that I have a soft spot in my heart for Robin Williams, and after he passed away, it was hard to watch anything that.
No, I get that.
Know.
I get that.
So maybe that's why. Yeah. Speaking of remakes, I got 2 more. Disney Plus got 2 things they're doing. A new Mighty Ducks movie.
No.
Yes, it's the originals.
The original cast?
Yeah, as far as I can see.
Are they going to be grown-up Mighty Ducks?
Well, nope. I don't know. Maybe they'll help train the next generation of Mighty Ducks. I don't know. I know. Well, it looks fun. And how about this? A Cheaper by the Dozen remake for a TV show. You ready? Who the mom and dad are?
Yes.
Gabrielle Union.
Oh, classic.
And Zach Braff.
I know his name, but I can't see his face.
Like Scrubs.
Yes.
Other stuff.
Oh my goodness, yes.
It's like a multiracial 12 member family. And
I like Zach Braff.
I know.
He's
and
funny.
The shenanigans that ensue. It's going to be a new Disney Plus show.
That's going to be so good.
I know. I think so too. I think it'll be fun. I think I'd rather watch that than I don't know. The first Mighty Ducks movie was really good. What?
Oh, I thought you were going to say that you didn't like the Cheaper by the Dozen movies with Steve and Bonnie, and I was going to come at you.
Oh, Steve Martin and Bonnie Hunt, fantastic. The meat, the hamburger, and the underwear. I mean, so it doesn't get any better than that. You kidding me? Yeah.
He's so good underpants. A Quiet Place 2. Has been pushed back again. It was originally slated for March 2020.
Should we talk about it like this? We should talk about it like this.
It was originally slated for March 2020.
Okay, so when's it coming out now?
Then it got pushed back to September 4th, 2020. And then it got pushed back to April 23rd, 2021.
Everything's going to get pushed back. Oh no, monsters! I should have said it quieter. Sorry.
Now it's pushed back to September 17th,
Oh
2021.
wow. Yowzer.
Yeah, so this movie's never going to come out, man.
But here's the deal. Thank you, COVID. That's all we can say, right? The COVID did it.
And the new Disney cartoon. Did you see the commercial for it?
For what Disney cartoon?
I'm going to say her name wrong, and I wrote it phonetically so I wouldn't, and I'm still going to so I wouldn't, and I can't read how I
So that's okay. That girl.
Say it. Raya?
Raya? I don't know.
Raya.
It can't be Raya.
Raya and the Last Dragon.
Oh yeah, yes. I did see it's a movie.
Yeah. Did you watch the commercial?
I did not watch the trailer.
There's a baby ninja.
Oh, that's funny.
And a water dragon whose voice is Aquafina.
So, but wait a minute, baby ninja and a dragon. So it sounds a lot like the Iron Fist comic book I talked about last week. Nothing's original. I don't know.
It's gonna be really good. I think I watched the trailer for it and it looks really interesting. The thing that I want to kind of pull it back to that we've talked about before, Dad, is how HBO Max is doing that thing where you can watch it for 30 days.
Yes.
It's coming out March 5th and you can see it in theaters, but kind of like what they did for the Mulan movie, you can also stream it through Disney Plus Premier Access.
So I'd have to pay for it.
You'd have to pay for it.
Or wait a month or 2 months and then it'll be on Disney
More than
Plus.
2 months. It'll probably be 3 or 4 months before it'll come up on Disney Plus.
Sorry, not paying for it.
I would go see it if the movie theaters in my area were open.
Yeah. Well, it'd probably be here in Mount Sterling.
Yeah, I mean, March 5th. No, I'm not going to be there
Socially
March 5th.
distant. Plus, you've had your double dose of the vaccination.
I've had my double dose.
I get mine Wednesday. All right. So I had 2 more things. One is coming in spring of this year, Star Wars stamps at the U.S. Post Office. And they're all
way.
They're all
That's
droids.
Dope.
Yeah, they're all droids.
That's so cool.
So I think I will probably go get some just to put up, keep. Sounds pretty cool.
Are you going to collect the stamps, Dad?
I used to. I have thousands of stamps downstairs.
You do not. Me? I did not know that.
I got more.
I was making fun of people I didn't know.
It's called a philatelist. Philatelist, I think, is what you call somebody who collects stamps.
Weird.
Look it up. Stamp collector term.
Look it up.
That's what it is. Google. And another thing is that they are. I don't know. I've really not been a big fan of the X comic books lately. I've said that.
The X-Men comic books?
Yeah, because they're. I don't know. I love the House of X and Powers of X. We talked about that. And since then, I've not really been a big fan of the books, but they're bringing out a new book and you get to choose the last member of the book. So they have
you get a call in or like a what is it?
It's on their web thingy.
Okay, so you're given, vote in.
So let's see how many of these you know. You ready?
Okay, bring it on.
Banshee?
Yes.
Okay. Polaris?
No.
Okay, Polaris is a Magneto type character. She's female.
Okay.
Forge?
Who?
Forge?
No.
Okay. Forge has the ability, he basically can create anything. Okay. That's his mutant ability.
Oh, I was going to say either he forages for things or he's like a metalsmith.
Not forager, forge. Yeah. He actually had a relationship with Storm for a long time in the comics back in the 80s.
Okay.
Boom Boom. She was a new mutant. She creates little bombs.
Boom Boom. That's awful.
Tempo, which I don't even know, but she can, guess what she does? She changes the speed of things.
Silly.
Here comes my vote. Cannonball, because he's from Kentucky. Sam Guthrie, talked about him in the New Mutants. Also another New Mutant, Sunspot. We talked about him, Roberto DaCosta. A guy called Strong Guy, which came out in X Factor a long time ago.
Some of these names are bad, Daddy.
Strong Guy is pretty cool. He's really weird looking. He absorbs kinetic energy and changes it into strength.
Oh, that's cool.
Here's the one that has the worst is Marrow. Guess what her power is?
Bone stuff.
Yes, she grows like these monstrally huge bones and she pulls them out and uses them as weapons.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Whoa!
And then there's another character named Armor who creates a psionic armor around her. So my vote's Cannonball. But I do love Forge. and Banshee. Of course, Banshee's been around the longest of all those characters.
Do we
Anywho,
want to do? Did you have another piece of news? I'm sorry.
no, just the whole thing that what's the girl's name that plays Mary Jane in Spider-Man?
Which one?
The new one with Tom Holland. What's her name?
Zendaya?
Yeah. So she said something in a Variety article about how awesome it was to work with Alfred Molina, which is Doc Ock. So from the my favorite Spider-Man movie, so it is absolutely 100% for sure Alfred Molina will be in that movie. So
That's dope.
yeah. Yeah.
Also,
So
I
that's
hope
all I
she's not
got.
in trouble.
No.
Do we want to talk about?
What are we binging?
Do we want to talk about WandaVision now?
No, we'll do it later. We'll do it last.
Okay.
That way
Okay.
people can hop off. So
Okay.
we missed this last week. We got so
Yeah, what
busy
are we-
into other things.
I am binging a couple things.
Okay.
Last time we talked about the Winx saga.
Yes. So did you watch it?
I watched all of them that day. It was such trashy TV.
Wait, is
teen
it real
TV.
people?
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
It was like Rivendell.
Not Rivendell.
vibes.
Rivendell is where Elrond
no.
lives.
Riverdale.
Riverdale.
Ooh.
We should do a mashup of that. Can you imagine that being a great mashup show? Rivendell with Jughead and
Oh my goodness.
Arwen.
Riverdale.
Yeah.
It was like that kind of vibes. Like I'm
for
here
middle
for
schoolers. Riverdale for
it.
middle
But they're
schoolers.
high schoolers.
Gotcha.
And you know what? Like I'm here for it. It was like
Gotcha.
trashy teen TV. I'd watch it. If they come out with the second season, I'll be there. They left it on such a cliffhanger. I'm
I don't like
so
that
mad
stuff.
about it. I'm so mad about the cliffhanger that they left it on. And there's a lot of like, it's very similar to what it used to be. Some of it isn't. Ooh, my headphones just got really weird all of a sudden. Okay. It is not like some of the characters have changed and one of the bad
Yeah.
people are different. And it's a bit like, can we trust the grown-ups that are around us? Like that kind of vibe.
Oh, that's good. Let's just instill doubt and seed, put that in the mind of all the
saying,
high
it
schoolers
was talking
and
about
middle
how like
schoolers out
all
there.
people
You
sometimes
cannot
have an
trust
agenda.
the grown-ups.
So, I mean, grown-ups have
I
their own
get you.
agenda.
They do. I know. Yeah.
That's
We
not
have
a
an
bad thing to
agenda.
know.
My agenda is
Educate and
to make
have
you
fun
become
with the
more like
public.
Jesus. That's what my agenda was.
So
So there you go.
I watched that. It was interesting.
Gotcha.
Big Bang Theory.
Where are you on that now?
Season 11, Dad.
Oh my gosh, how many seasons are there?
12. I'm almost
Well,
done.
then you about doney.
What am I gonna do?
You'll be done. I don't know. You can.
I don't know what I'm gonna watch.
Well, we'll have to think of something, and so you could talk about it.
I don't know what I'm gonna
So
watch.
you at first said you weren't really sold on Big Bang Theory, but
I
now you're
mean,
like all in.
It's not that I'm all in. It's that it's predictable
Yeah.
and funny.
So here's something funny. So the girl, last name Malik, what's her name?
I don't.
She's one of their girlfriends.
Her name's Amy in the thing.
the nerdy girlfriend
Yeah, her name's Amy.
who was in a TV show when I was a kid. I can't remember what she was. I can't remember it now.
She
Ugh, I'm
actually
blanking.
is. She actually does have a doctorate in neurobiology.
So now, in the midst of all these comic books, there are ads. She has an ad in a lot of these. It's a comic book ad. I
Really?
can't remember what it's for.
Interesting.
I think it's for like comic book science-y type books for kids. Here's
That's
the deal. Anytime I see an ad in a comic book that looks like a comic strip, I get annoyed because I start getting into it,
Because you
thinking it's
start
part of the
reading it.
story. And I'm like, this is a pain in the butt. Which has been the same thing with Snickers has been doing that in all
That's
the DC
funny.
books. It isn't funny. It's annoying. Like a 2-page spread about wanting to eat a Snickers bar in the middle of a Batman story is
Funny.
not what I go for.
It's funny.
Speaking of
Okay.
Batman,
Well,
that is
wait,
what-
wait. I also
Mm.
watched.
holy cow, what are you watching?
I watched a movie. I watched the movie Epic.
Wait, the animated one?
Hmm.
The one that
With
the
the
music
little,
is, the song is so good.
the lightning
What's
strike.
The song in that,
The lightning strike
is that what
by
it's
Snow
called?
Patrol.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good song.
That's a good song.
I've never seen the movie.
It came out when I was in high school.
type thing?
It's kind of. Do you remember Arthur and the Invisibles?
Yes. Mhm.
That kind of vibe.
Gotcha.
Except it's not a except it's a young girl instead of a boy,
Gotcha.
and still like an estrangement in the family system,
Hmm.
and have to save the forest.
Gotcha.
I
Um,
watched it in my childhood, and I just wept.
okay, so if you want to watch one that's Save the Rainforest 100%,
Ferngully.
oh, well, there you go. Thank you.
Sorry.
Speaking of thunder, stealing my, wait, you said lightning? You
Thunder.
stole my thunder. Thank you. Fern Gully. Brings us right back to Robin Williams because he was the crazy
Ferngully's so
bat.
good. He was the crazy bat. Okay, I'm sorry. Your
Yeah,
turn, Dad.
Fern Gully. I am watching Batman the Animated Series from 1992. It
So
is
cool.
phenomenal.
Isn't
It is
that the
the
one where, what's his name? Ooh, you're going to be mad at me that I don't remember. Mark.
I don't know.
Never mind.
Never
Luke.
mind.
The
Luke,
guy who-
like
The guy who,
Skywalker.
yeah, isn't that where he's the Joker?
Yes, Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
You had it. You're getting
Yeah.
it. Yes, he is the Joker.
That's what I thought.
Great voice of the Joker. So it's uses Danny Elfman's music from the 89 movie, from 1989's movie. The animation is, it's sort of like they're in like a gangster type, people have Tommy guns and their outfits are like that, but it's not, it's updated.
Cool.
So it's very it felt a lot like the original Tim Burton movie a little bit.
Is it by Tim Burton?
No. Um, it oh gosh, all Bruce Timm is the guy who has a big deal with all this stuff. But the character designs are phenomenal. So I'm just in the first season, and they've introduced the Joker, but he wasn't introduced right off the bat. And also, that is the first appearance ever of Harley Quinn is in this comic in season 1. Not even in a comic book.
I thought it was this. I thought
Yes.
it was this series where they introduced
Yes.
Harley.
I just finished a two episode story with Two-Face. His origin's a little bit different, but the character design is phenomenal. Two-Face
What's phenomenal
looks
about
awesome.
it?
Just the way he's drawn, it's a perfect dichotomy: black and white, normal, green. It's not spooky like Two-Face in the movie, which
Oh
was
shoot!
wow.
In the
No,
movie, his
well,
eyeball
let's
and
take
his
this back.
and his jaw.
Two-Face has been in 2 movies, right? We're
Mm.
talking about the Heath Ledger Joker,
Where he's got
that-
like you can
yes.
see like his teeth
Yeah,
and
which
his
is funny.
eyeball is creepy.
Mhm.
Ugh. Ugh.
But the best is the story of Mr. Freeze. I don't know if I said that last episode or not, but Mr. Freeze is that cartoon was probably one of the best story cartoons I've ever seen. Honestly.
Really
So this is my favorite comic book adapted animation.
interesting. Okay,
Series.
I'm trying to
Great.
think. I don't know if I've seen very many comic book adapted.
Well, yeah,
Justice League of America, Teen Titans Go,
yeah,
that
the
type of thing.
X-Men. There's been a bazillion.
Okay, sorry,
Just
you're right.
hop on any of the streaming
Teenage Mutant
platforms
Ninja
and you
Turtles.
can find them. Yes, Heroes in a Half Shell, Turtle Power. So yeah, that's what I'm watching now. Are you ready?
Yes. Ready.
Last night, of course, there's no our basketball team's got COVID, so we couldn't watch it.
Really?
No football. So mom is like dying. So she's like, well, let's watch The Crown.
Oh, what do you think? Isn't it so good? Did you start
So
in the
we
first
watched
season?
the first 3 episodes of The
It's
Crown.
so good, Dad.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Now, granted, this is adult TV.
Yeah, it's for grown-ups.
Yes, it's for grown-ups. A Batman animated series, kids can watch it. It's got a little bit of violence, but nothing terrible. Not like camp.
We're going to get there in a second.
We'll get there in a second. And so I love The Crown. I didn't know that Matt Smith was Prince Philip. So Doctor
Dad,
Who.
I've raved about this.
I know you probably did, but I probably filed it away under whatever. and
Found it away in unnecessary information.
okay, so and here's the deal. I don't know everyone's name that plays in all these things, but the dude that played Queen Elizabeth's dad,
yes,
is like a villain in everything.
Yeah, he
And
was
he's
in.
great
Wasn't he
at it.
Moriarty in?
Yes,
Yeah,
and he was in Fringe.
Yep.
He may still be in The Expanse. Beltaloda.
Yes. Oh, we.
The
Uh,
OPA. Beltaloda.
ah, I don't. Oh, I
I
have a
don't know.
lot of opinions and
Fred,
feelings
not
about
Fred
that man
Dawes. What was his
in the
name? I can't remember.
expanse. Oh my
I,
goodness.
I thought he was okay. I mean, he did what he thought was right for his people. So he's like a he's not a terrible guy, but he ain't the greatest.
What would he? I think he would. He would be like chaotic neutral,
You think so?
perhaps, or
No, he has
lawful
an
evil.
agenda.
Lawful
He has
evil,
an he
perhaps.
has an agenda. Everybody has an agenda. Come on. Everybody has those days.
Oh
I
my
don't know what
goodness.
that
You're
song
singing Hannah
is.
Montana. I need someone
Yeah.
to. Well, I mean, someone's going to listen to this.
Okay,
So they'll be able
speaking
to
of
know.
binging, Hannah and I set out to watch just to do a kids
Just,
show.
yeah. And
And
who
so
told you about this?
um one of the girls that works with me watched an episode with her son,
Okay.
who's really young, and but they loves dinosaurs. So I was thinking, hey, let's check out Camp Cretaceous,
Camp
which is
Cretaceous. It's a
it's
Disney, not
Jurassic
Disney.
World,
Jurassic World, Camp Cretaceous. It's a
Jurassic the Lost
Netflix
World.
original.
Yes, came out in September, the
Mhm.
first season, and actually they dropped season 2 just last
Recently.
week,
Yeah.
the 22nd. So I said, let's watch a couple episodes. Well, I watched the entire first season. It's
I
like
watched the
8 or
entire
9.
first season, like 8 of them. I watched all of
Yeah,
them.
and I started the next episode of the second
You
season.
did not.
I did. So I did binge it. Okay,
Daddy.
so this is TV7.
It says it's TV7. It's not TV7.
It is so violent. I
It
mean,
is-
literally the beginning of the show. Now, granted, you never see blood, but at the beginning of the first episode,
It's like a first person.
yeah, hold on, my thing just went wonky.
Oh, are you? I can see you and hear you still.
Good, I don't see you. So it is a there we are. It is a first it's a video game going on.
Yeah.
And so and the guy gets
Eaten by
a dinosaur
T-Rex.
or whatever. I'm like,
By a T-Rex, he gets eaten.
what? You don't
And then
see
he's
him
like,
get
"Oh
eaten.
no!" And he gets paused, and he's like wearing a VR headset,
Okay.
and I'm like, "Oh,
Right.
this isn't real life.
This
Oh,
isn't
it's
real
not
life.
real life. It's not
But then
real
he ends
life."
up at the camp, and it is real life.
I have.
Okay, let's talk
qualms.
about pros and cons in this. So hold on,
Pro.
first let me set the stage.
Okay, set the stage.
This takes place before, during, and after the last film.
Mm-hmm.
The one with Chris Pratt and Dallas Bryce Howard. They even mention her. And they even have the evil scientist guy is even in it.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens is that there are kids from around the world, 6 or 7, 8 of them, I can't remember, show up to be part of this camp.
Six.
The one kid gets there because he won the video game.
Our main character.
The main character, and he did it by using his knowledge of dinosaurs. So this kid knows everything there is about dinosaurs.
And there's like a backstory about how he really wanted to go there with his dad.
Right.
And it was just like a way for him to honor his father's memory, to be able
Who's no
to
longer there,
win
no longer
this
living.
and
Yeah.
go to the camp.
So they get to camp. And has anything ever good happened at Jurassic Park?
No.
No. So let's have a camp with kids. Okay. So we've got our kid that knows everything about dinosaurs. We've got our
That's
nerdy
Darius.
kid. Yes.
Darius is the kid who knows everything about dinosaurs.
We got our nerdy kid who
Ben.
who is like
Who's afraid of the outdoors.
a germaphobe and afraid of the outdoors. We got our cowpoke girl who's
Sammy.
who, by the way, is voiced by the girl that plays Paul Blart's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then we've got our social media influencer, Brooklyn. What's up, Brooklanders? Then we've got our jock. She is
Kenji. Oh, no.
No.
Kenji or Yasmina?
Yasmina. She's the
Yasmina.
jock. And then Kimji is like the rich playboy, thinks he's the hottest thing
Who's
since
older
sliced
than
bread.
everyone else.
Yeah, well, we think. But
Oh, no.
I enjoy the
He's
camp.
older than everyone else. He's at least
So-
16 in this. Everyone else is like
Yeah.
middle school, and he's 16.
You think so? You think they're all middle school? Yeah,
I
they're upper middle school.
like 8th grade.
The lowest. Anyway, so then they have to escape the island because basically every episode something terrible happens. They're being chased by dinosaurs. Then at the end they have to escape the island and blah blah blah. Anyway, tell me pros and cons, Hannah.
Pros. Diverse cast. all played by young people
I put diverse cast too.
who are like, they're likable, right?
They are.
Likable,
Yeah.
diverse cast.
And they have there are everyday problems that they have to overcome.
Yeah. Like, how do
Social,
you become friends with people, and
you
how do
don't trust
you
people, and
learn to listen to other people whose experience might be different than yours, and how do you communicate, um those types of things.
the dinosaurs look awesome. The animation is
The
really
animation
good.
is really cool. Really
Yes.
cool.
Um I think it's has some really good sweet moments in it.
Yeah.
I liked it, but I'm 53. Okay?
I'm
I'm
not
going to
53.
I'm going to the cons right now. This is really violent for a TV7 show.
Here's what I'm so mad about, Dad.
What?
These counselors at this camp,
Okay, wait. Full disclosure, Hannah has been a camp counselor.
these counselors are trash. They
Explain.
leave these children in
Every
a
time.
dinosaur camp all the time.
And then they say,
literally rule
don't do
one.
nothing.
Rule
Don't do nothing.
one of
Stay
being
inside.
a camp counselor is you do not leave your children. You don't
Not
leave
only
your
that-
children.
Oh, not only that, they leave them on the island. They
get
leave
left
on
there.
a boat and leave a bunch of kids. I'm like, this is a lawsuit just waiting.
And Dave and Roxy are like, the kids. I'm like, you got on the boat.
I know.
You left them.
Not only that, but I mean, like,
But like
who's in
they,
charge?
and like, you're at
But
a
now,
camp.
literally, this is happening though at the end of Jurassic World, whatever that movie was with Chris Pratt. That's
It
why
was
they're
just
all
called
leaving.
Jurassic World. It was
Is that
just
what it
called
was
Jurassic
called?
World.
Lost Kingdom, nothing like that wacky.
The thing that the couple and it wasn't just like at the very end when they just left them. Like, two of the kids, Darius and Kenji, kind of got in trouble for sneaking out one night to go do something. I don't know. They snuck out and they got in trouble. They were left.
But he almost died. They snuck
were
out, and Darius almost died.
You shouldn't be able to sneak out. Period. Like, they're like, no. Like, no.
I know.
You should not be able to sneak out. Two, I'm on my camp counselor soapbox about this, y'all.
Do it.
Do
Soapbox it.
not do positive punishment in a camp.
I don't know what that means.
Positive punishment is adding something negative to decrease an unwanted behavior. So they left them alone to shovel poop.
Yes, which is like
to stop
what?
them from sneaking out. Like,
yeah.
that's not going to stop them from sneaking out. They're just going to sneak
Actually,
out after you've left them to shovel poop.
You've just left them alone again. Yeah.
They're going to leave. I'm so mad about it. I texted Dad while I was watching it. I was like, these camp counselors don't know anything.
They're the worst.
What kind of training did they have?
That's zero. But it is Jurassic World, so what do you expect? I was hoping we might see the Margarita Man. Jimmy Buffett in the middle of the whole thing, but we didn't.
But no, it was like, there were some sweet moments of like, I don't know. Man,
it took about
counselors
2 to 3
awful.
episodes to really start to get to know the characters.
Mm-hmm.
That was a downturn. But
Ben,
as far as letting a kid who is 7 years old, there's a lot
10,
of
maybe
violence. So I read a thing where Spielberg was like, listen, we don't want this to be adults saving kids. We want the kids to be in real danger. And I'm like, holy cow. Yeah, there are situations of real danger. I don't want to spoil it.
some kids
for
get
anyone,
some adults get snapped while the kids
Yes.
are like watching.
Yes.
They get snapped.
And
It's the literal plot of Jurassic World. So there's the Indominus Rex, and then there's the flying.
what's that one called?
The
The
flying
pterodactyls. But now there was something called like I can't remember.
The
Anyway.
one with that one's not in. That's just in the movie, just in the TV show. That one's not in Jurassic World. There's the Indominus Rex.
There's the one in the water.
There's
that ate the shark or cow or whatever in the heck it was that they hung from the thing.
Yikes,
and the kid,
man.
So if you're going to watch
there's definite peril.
That's the thing. And at the end of season 1, you
They get
don't know.
left.
Yeah.
You don't know if they're going to be
plus,
okay.
You don't know yes, I don't want to say anything else, but bad things happen. And oh my gosh, the whole thing on the tram with Ben when they start going slow motion, you're like, oh, you got to be
No,
kidding me.
I'm like, oh
The
no.
slow motion animation of the pterodactyl coming towards them and everything, and I'm like,
Oh no.
oh gosh.
And
So
Yasmina like snapped her ankle, and so now she's not going to be able to like walk because there's no
yeah,
one
she's
there to
got
help her with her medical care. And how are they going to eat? And how are they going to live?
well,
And
they
they got
talk about that.
left,
That happens in the next episode.
and they're going to get
They
they're going to
actually try to
get
eat frozen
sued.
pizza. They have to sit there and wait for the pizza to thaw
Oh,
because they can't eat the frozen
goodness
pizza.
gracious.
Yeah. So
This is a child's TV show that
it is
Dad and I
not.
are harping at you all. This
I
is
liked
a
it. Don't get
child's
me wrong.
TV show.
If you have a middle school kid that likes
Dinosaurs, man, go
dinosaurs,
for it.
but I'm afraid they
See,
would think this was too kiddie, but it is not
that's
kiddie.
what I see. That's what I was talking to Dad about when we first started watching it. I was like, "This is going to
I
be
wouldn't
really
let a
cool."
first grader watch this.
There are a lot
First
of
grader?
kids who love dinosaurs, and so this would be
Yeah, like
really
my
cool.
nephew would love the dinosaurs in this thing, except for the fact that this isn't a kid show.
Like,
This should, yeah. Anyway,
I don't
that's
know,
it.
man.
There
Those
you
camp
go.
counselors need to take a class.
The whole entire reason I wanted to watch that and talk about the movie that we're going to talk about was the fact because Godzilla versus Kong trailer dropped, and I thought let's do some of that crazy junk.
Yeah, let's do some dinosaur stuff.
Um,
Dinosaur and Kong stuff. Do you want to do pull list or do you want to do the movie next?
we could do pull list. So,
Okay.
For those of you who don't know, a pull list is my comic book shop owner Scott. What's up, Scott? He's the best. He pulls comic books for me before they go up on the shelf, and I give him a list. That's why it's called a pull list. So I have a bunch of DC Future State stuff that came out, and I didn't want to spend so much time on it.
Okay.
But a lot of my people in the comic book community are like, I don't like DC Future State. They're like not liking it.
Really?
I think the reason is that basically the DC Future State comic books throw you right in. There is no build up. This is it. It's happening. So you're getting introduced to new characters right off the bat. And I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if they feel
So there's
slighted
not
or
a
whatever.
okay. So there's not a what I'm hearing you say is that there's not a lot of world building.
No, there is no world building because basically there's a little blip that says, after Dark Knight's death metal, the world reformed, and these are the worlds of tomorrow. Blam. Here you go.
That's
Next
cool
story.
to me though.
Some of these are. And actually, here's what I got this week: Superman Worlds of War, Dark Detective, Batman Superman, Aquaman, Suicide Squad, and Kara Zor-El Superwoman.
Oh,
And
that's dope.
I'm here to tell you that other than the Dark Detective comic, which I didn't much care for that one, these other books had some really good stories in it.
You
and
liked
some
them?
good. I did. I liked them all. If I had to choose, I think I would say I couldn't choose. I would choose
Get 'em
Batman
all.
Superman. Well, here's the deal: Superman Worlds of War is $8.
Oh shoot.
Yeah. Kara Zor-El, I really liked her story at the beginning, and the art was a little bit different. But she's struggling with being, coming to Earth after Superman's already grown up. So she feels like she doesn't have a use. But the Batman Superman is really good. The how Batman and Superman are talking, interplay with one another is a great. But the Superman Worlds of War has like 4 or 5 different stories in it, and the first Superman story I really enjoyed it. Superman is captured, he's on another world, but you don't find that out to the end. He's like a battle planet, sort of like the Hulk was in the battle planet. Anyway,
Gotcha.
So
Or like that Exiles comic book.
yeah, like that. So the 3 books I want to talk about are Strange Academy.
Okay.
Which
that
is,
sounds like something up my alley.
Yeah, so we mentioned this briefly. It's Doctor Strange has a school where they try to teach the next generation of magic users. So it's like a Hogwarts versus / Umbrella Academy. What did I say? It ain't called Hogwarts.
No, I'm just giggling because you said something right about something you've never seen.
Yeah, I'm not a big Harry Potter fan.
I was impressed with you, Dad.
Okay, good. So, so they're basically like they've got like a frost a frost giant is in the class. The son of Dormammu is in the class. There are
What?
two Asgardians in the class. There's like a voodoo a zombie in the class. They're all kids and they're all being taught how to use their magic. But something happened. So Dormammu's son is killed in the last issue, and the girl called Emily, who's basically going to become the main star of this book, I have a feeling, the student with the most power, um, feels really sorry. It's an issue. It's an episode of issue about her trying to say, no, he came and tried to save me, and I want to save him, and we got to go talk to Dormammu, or we got to do this. And Doctor Strange is like, we can't do this, and we've done everything we can. And at the end of the issue, she like crying and she kisses his forehead, and all of a sudden Doyle, which is Dormammu's son's name,
His name's
Dormammu.
Doyle.
I love it.
Doyle Dormammu.
Yes, he
Oh no.
starts flaming again and comes back to life. So that's how it ends. So it's on issue 7 right now. And Doctor Strange doesn't have a comic book currently. But this is really cool because it uses like magic from the character from the X-Men is a teacher. The Scarlet Witch is a teacher. The
Okay.
Brother Voodoo is a teacher. So all the people, the Ancient One, the Man Thing, all these characters are like famous in all the
That's cool.
are teaching this right now. So another comic is, I think it's the best Batman book out right now. It's called Batman Black and White.
Okay.
And it is a black and white only comic that has about 4
That's
different stories
cool.
in it. Yeah. There's also one called Black, White, and Red. That's Wolverine, Black, White, and Red. And I'm digging these. It's like
I
an
don't
anthology.
understand.
It's like, well, it's because Wolverine, Black, White, and Shneek, Red.
Red.
Got me.
Uh-oh.
So
Shneek. That was a
Shneek,
funny sound
Shneek.
effects, Dad.
Yeah. That, which was also funny because in Savage Avengers, Conan wants some sneaked swords like Wolverine has. And they're like, what? His sneaked swords. And he goes, sneaked like this. And they're like, yeah, you need help, man. But anyway, Savage Avengers is one of my faves too. But the Batman Black and White has like 4 different stories from 4 different,
Interesting.
they're, and 4 different
You said they're like an
writers, artists.
anthology.
And each month it's different. So you get a complete story, 4 complete stories every issue, and they're just short. The first one in Batman Black, book 2 right now, was so sweet. Batman is trying to rescue, a church has been collapsed, and he's trying to rescue a priest, and it's just very sweet, the interplay between the priest and Batman. It's amazing. It's really good. There's been a lot of spiritual stuff in a lot of these comic books lately. I don't know if
that's what you've mentioned.
if it's true or if my spiritual radar is just on height. I don't know.
Your art friend Joe M thinks that
Yeah.
that would be a fun one to cut up.
Hey, Joe, I'm all for Joe. Joe, if you don't know, check out Hero Collage on Instagram.
Phenomenal.
He makes mosaics, basically. He cuts up comic books and creates art out of the cut up pieces of comic books. Now, normally I would be totally against this, but his stuff is phenomenal. And like he did a kiss between in The Watchmen, Dr. Manhattan and Silk Spectre, and he only used issues 1 through 12 of the Watchmen comic, the original. So we're talking $150 worth of comic books he cut up, and but I'm okay with it. So yeah, the last comic book that I want to talk about just finished, issues 1 through 5 just finished.
Okay, what is it?
We Only Find Them When They're Dead.
Oh, I don't.
We talked about this. This is by Boom Studios, Hannah.
I
We've
like
talked
them
about
though. Okay. I like them.
So
we
what
only
happened-
find them when they're dead.
Yes. So
Weird
this is
name.
basically, there are these giant, they call them gods. Basically, it's a celestial, like we saw in the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie, where they're mining out this dead celestial. Remember the first Guardian? They go to nowhere.
Yeah. No, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay. So
I'm with you.
These are salvage people that wait at these coordinates and wait for this dead alien to appear. And it appears, and then they claim stakes to different parts of it and they mine it out.
Okay.
But it's so hard to get your quota and everything that some of these miners try to skip off without and then there's like cops that chase them down or kill them for doing, it's funny because it's big corporations in it and everything. And so this follows one ship as they decide to go find one when it's not dead.
Oh,
They
bad.
well, and they take off running, and one of the policeman type things, she chases after them, and you come to find out that there's history that the guy
Interesting.
that the guy who is in charge of the ship now, his parents were killed
Oh no.
by
By the
her.
Celestial?
No, by that cop
Uh-oh.
who was engaged to his brother.
Oh
So
no.
yeah, so this
Drama.
this just a 5 issues. The last one just came out. I'm sure they will collect them in a trade paperback.
Cool. So perhaps
And
we will read it in the future times.
It's got that art. I've shown you that. It's sort of like an anime-ish type art. It's the same girl who drew, the same lady who drew parts of Wonder Woman and Future State Wonder Woman. It's very anime-ish looking. It's a struggle for me to see because it's so dark, and I struggle with dark.
Yeah, you have difficulty parsing that out.
But I'm showing Hannah a picture
because your eye stuff
of it right
Ooh,
now.
it is extremely like it's Dad. You know what? Another reason it might be hard for you to see.
Why?
Those panels were one green, one red, one green, one red.
Yeah. See,
and you
that's
can't
fine.
tell the difference in those
For
colors.
those of you who do not know, I have multiple eye issues. First of all, I'm partially colorblind, and I have a eye disease where I will eventually not be able to see stuff in my center field of vision, but that's cool. I'm okay with it. So it's a struggle for me. Sometimes I have good eye days, bad days.
That's probably partly why.
Probably,
because
I
that
didn't
panel
realize it.
was just green, red, green, red.
Oh,
And
well,
it's
no
just,
wonder.
And it's just
This
show
looks like-
difference between the two characters, but you can't tell the
can't even
difference
tell
between those two colors.
Well, that's
Oh,
a
Daddy,
turd.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. It's a good
That
book.
stinks. It looks
So-
cool though, man.
Yeah. So those are my pickups this week.
Dope.
Batman Black and White, Strange Academy, and we only find them when they're dead.
That's some
that's-
creepy shenanigans though, Daddy.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty good stuff though. Good books. I'd say pick
Interesting.
them up.
Okay. And you think that we only find them when
Find
they're
them when
dead
they're
is going to
dead?
come out as a trade paperback?
Absolutely. Are you kidding me? Sure they
Okay.
will.
But
Yeah.
you really like, okay, Strange Academy, Batman Black and White, we only find them when they're dead.
Yep. There you go.
Okay. Very well.
Awesome.
Good to know. Are we going to talk about Kong?
Yes. Yes. We are. We have
So
very
we-
little time left.
I mean, we got like 15, 20 minutes left.
All right. Cool.
We talked
Yeah, we
about-
watched.
Go ahead. You had
I put
a
out-
joke. You did a
I did.
joke, Dad.
I put something out on Facebook. I said, "What does Fred Flintstone, Captain Marvel,
Loki,
Loki, what else did I say?
Nick Fury.
Nick Fury, and I can't remember what I said for John C. Reilly's character. All have in common. Oh, Wreck-It Ralph. All have in common. These characters all star in Kong Skull Island. I mean, it's like jam-packed filled.
Star-studded cast, my dude.
So of the monster movies, this is my favorite. And I think, again, it's because the Godzilla movies are too dark for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't mean dark in a
Like
tonal
visually,
sense.
it is too
Visually, it is not bright enough for me to enjoy.
Mhm.
Kong Skull Island, completely different. So I'm sure most of you have seen it. It takes place in 1973, right after the end of the Vietnam War. And they go to Skull Island. They're said they're going there to find an alternate form of energy, when in fact, John Goodman's character is bringing them there to get proof that all the people who died on his ship,
Lies.
yeah, that because of the monsters. Yeah.
What Dad said, that this is one of his favorite of the monster movies. They are redoing all of these monster films. So they did Godzilla. They did Godzilla King of Monsters. They
Where he
did the
fights
Mummy
Rodan.
movie. That was bad.
I never saw that.
It was not
They did
good.
Invisible Man.
They
But-
tried to introduce Monarch in that with like a Dr. Jekyll,
Serious?
like kind of.
Monarch. So Monarch is in Kong Skull Island.
You should watch that movie because they tried to do something there that
The
would
one
have
with
been
Tom
really
Cruise.
good if that movie would have been good, and it wasn't good.
Gotcha.
That movie
Well,
was
that's
not
a
good.
bummer.
But they like went to Monarch,
Oh, gotcha.
and it
I'll have
was
to watch it.
Russell. No, Russell
Russell Crowe?
Crowe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
Russell
played.
Crowe
I
was.
knew he was Dr. Hyde.
Yeah, like they have that kind of shenanigans that
Okay.
happens and weird mummy stuff, and it just wasn't as good as the Mummy, and it just made me sad.
Mm,
But yeah, and that, and then King Kong goes in with that. So those
right.
four, and then the new one that's coming is the
King
Godzilla
Kong
versus
Godzilla.
Kong
Yeah.
that we just saw the commercial for. That's coming out later this year.
Yeah. I am. I think March. I
Really,
don't. I
March?
can't.
That's
I
so
can't
soon.
remember.
That's in a
I
couple
thought so.
months.
Apparently, Netflix and Legendary are doing an anime style series
That's cool.
set in this MonsterVerse too. So I don't know.
So I
Um,
have just quotes of funny things that were said.
wait, I want to know who was your favorite character in this movie.
Tom
taking a
Holland and
long
Brie
bit.
Larson.
Really?
They were my favorites.
John C. Riley was the best in this movie.
He had the best lines.
He goes, "You guys okay? What are his lines? Did you write any of his lines down?"
So I called them skull crushers. Oh, why do you call them that? Because it's cool.
Yeah, he said that. I like it when he's patting them on the shoulder. You guys are a good bunch of guys. You're a good bunch of guys to die with. We're all gonna die.
Oh, you were right, Dad. Joe says the release date is March 31st.
There you go.
Which
I
is
knew
so
it was coming.
soon, man.
I
That's
know.
in a couple months.
Well, because
That's bonkers.
yes, because what did we just say comes out the 18th? We just talked about that earlier.
Yeah, Snyder
Whatever.
Cut.
Yeah, so it's all
HBO
over.
is gonna be popping in
Whoop,
March,
whoop.
man.
I'm glad I got better internet.
Poppin'.
Man,
I
I love John C. Riley in that, and the relationship that he had with the Japanese
yeah.
fighter pilot. They
Yeah.
become friends, and he keeps his sword.
And I liked what he said, death before dishonor. Like he whispered it in his friend's language.
You look better than a beer
hot
and a hot dog at Wrigley Field. And he looks at that like he's like,
I'm gonna eat it.
and then at one point he says something. He goes, "Did I say that out loud?"
Well, he's been, and then the group of people that kind of like accept him and take him in, and he's like, they said you could spend the night.
Yes.
They didn't say
They didn't
anything.
say nothing.
They just
I
kind
love
of
it.
bowed at him.
So what were you going to say about your stuff?
When I have, is that a monkey?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Is that the guy in the helicopter? Like he goes, "Is that a monkey?" And just,
That was the best part, man.
I
When
know.
the guy in the helicopter was just flying.
It's 17 million feet tall, and he goes, "Is that
He
a
goes,
monkey?"
Is that a monkey?
I know, it's great. That was fun. Listen, Nick Fury, Samuel
I'm
L.
afraid
Jackson,
of him.
he just goes all bonkers.
He
He's
was
like,
just like,
I'm like,
he was like, oof.
yeah, like Apocalypse Now crazy.
Well, it
So-
was really sad. It was
Yes.
like,
His whole entire life is made up
Is
of
war.
being at war, and now there is no war.
and what do you
And,
do now?
Listen, being a son of someone who came home from Vietnam, it was rough on them. On a lot of these, and it's for anyone, the PTSD, you deal with it in the job that you have, and so it's hard transitioning.
His character was scary and sad for me.
Yeah.
Um, Another thing that I kind of thought was funny, but also kind of sad, was how the group of soldiers who worked with Sam L.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
We keep calling him Nick Fury.
Yeah, you called him Nick Fury, and now I'm like Nick
Sorry.
Fury.
My bad.
Was that the chaplain? His he wrote letters to his son, and that became
He was a chaplain. He
that's
wasn't
what
a chaplain.
that's what they called him, right?
They called him Chappie. I don't know what they
They called him
him.
chaplain, I thought.
I don't know, but yeah, he
I
wrote
didn't
Dear
have- I
Billy. Dear Billy.
The Dear Billy.
Yes,
I thought that was hysterical. Dear Billy.
I did too. And at the end, it was very sweet. The men who survived said, "Dear Billy, your dad was,
A
whatever."
good man and then they took his notebook that had all of his letters to his son and presumably gave them to him,
Yeah.
which was
So-
really sweet. But yeah,
So this is definitely PG-13, and it's
Yeah.
a fun piece of candy. I mean, it's not going to win. Maybe it did win an award. I don't know, but the action is great. If you have eye issues, you could still watch it
People
because
get
the
snapped
scenery,
up in this, man.
the skull crushers,
They
yeah,
go.
yeah, they crush your skulls,
They
and
get bit up.
um, it's fun. I mean, and a lot of people get disappear.
Ensemble cast,
Uh
right? So
huh.
when you have
Yeah.
ensemble cast
And
and something
actually,
like
they
this,
filmed this at Camp Cretaceous. I didn't know if you knew this or not. That's the actual location where this was filmed. I made that up. It's not true. That was Isla de something.
that
Isla
was funny.
something.
That was good,
This
Dad.
is
I'm
small
impressed.
island.
I
May as
mean, I
well
don't
been.
know. It was interesting. The
I liked the water buffalo coming out of the water.
that was crazy, man.
Yeah.
Crazy.
With the moss all grown up over it and everything.
I was trying to remember. I watched it with William, and I was trying to remember. He was like, "Are all these people gonna live?" I'm like, "Oh no, definitely
Well,
not."
they go in there with like 17 helicopters and no helicopters come out.
No, man.
Just that
They
wacky
get
boat.
thunk.
Mm-hmm.
They get kicked out of the sky, and Kong's like, "Ah!"
Yeah, he throws that palm
Wind.
tree at one of them.
That
I mean,
was
here's the
crazy.
and at what point do you not realize, oh, we're going the wrong direction? They just keep flying around him.
Well, that one guy,
Samuel L. Jackson?
but no,
No.
Loki, Tom
Yeah,
Hiddleston.
Tom Hiddleston.
Tom Hiddleston's character was like, "Turn this around," and then the guy flying the
Like, we don't take
orders from you. I'm like, well, I value my life.
So the
Police
fun thing
were
about
exit
the fun thing-
immediately.
so they hire Tom Hiddleston to bring him. He's supposed to help them. I don't know what his job is, but he's
Like
basically
he's like
a
adventure
guide.
man. He's like
Yes.
the
They
Barry.
go, we're going to pay
guy.
you this much money. He goes, do you want to tell me that? You want me to tell you the ways you're going to die? That's when he starts out. He goes, this is just the things we do know. Who knows what kind of bugs and stuff you're going to get in there?
Yeah.
And end up paying him twice. So
Mm-hmm.
okay. Well, I thought Brie Larson was okay. She wasn't any big star in it.
She wasn't. I don't know. It was just fun. She was fun to watch. And she brought a human element to everything that was happening around her because she captured everything.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So that's what I appreciated about her character was that
I liked the movie.
There were all of these things that were happening that were like otherworldly, and she captured it in a way that felt it like it made it more human. Like, you know what I mean?
I can tell you, yes, I could tell you all these movies that have come out. I've watched Godzilla, the first one twice, Godzilla, the second one once, and King Kong 4 times. So
yeah, we liked King Kong the best.
yeah, and I'm curious what the plot point is going to be. Why Kong is going to fight Godzilla?
Well, did you watch the commercial?
Godzilla!
Did you watch the commercial?
Yeah, I did. That little girl.
They're like they're like enemies in an ancient war.
But they're not going to be. You know that, right? They're going to tag team. It's going to be like Royal Rumble. In this corner, welcome. It's going to be like they're going to have to tag out to beat some other creature. It has to be.
Dad,
Because it's Godzilla and King Kong.
guess what I know what we should watch for next week.
Oh, really? What?
Pacific Rim.
Oh, are you serious? I was thinking
Yes.
we would watch The Day After Tomorrow.
That one's good too.
know.
Both of those are excellent films.
know.
What are we gonna do?
Well, anyway, so how many monkey paws do you give this?
Dum. 5.
Wow.
No, I don't want to give them any monkey's paws. That's a bad choice. Did you read the book? Did you read the short story Monkey's Paw?
I just know what it means. So no, let's not do
Don't-
monkey paws.
let's not do
Let's do
monkey's paw.
samurai swords.
5.
Oh, really? 4.
You didn't think it was that good?
Not a 5. I mean, yeah, it's good. It's fun. It's eye candy. It's something fun to watch when you don't have anything to do. You don't have to pay any attention. I'm not saying it's not like Schindler's List. So
Well, it doesn't have to be Schindler's List to be a
you get
5.
5 swords.
We're
Oh,
not
okay.
the Academy Awards.
All right. We are. We're going to have our own red carpet. Welcome to Sis and Big Pop's Academy
Goodness
Awards.
gracious.
We should do that. Would that not be
No.
fun? All right. I'll give it 4 swords and a hilt.
So 4.5.
Yeah, there
Very
you
well.
go.
Very
All right.
well.
Okay, so hop off if you don't want to listen to WandaVision. because
Yeah,
we're
we're
getting into it.
gonna get episode
We're
4
gonna
of
got-
WandaVision.
We got like 10 minutes.
Yeah, so if you
max.
don't want to,
Okay.
Dad,
What?
The opening
The opening where it shows them coming back.
at the hospital. Do you know how much I didn't even think about that?
That was awesome.
Do you
And
know?
then all these people
like,
going, where's the woman in this bed? Well, she's been dead for 3 years.
and like, no, but like,
They didn't have any clue
doctors
they were
could have
gone.
been yanked out of surgeries. Like
Yes.
when they were dusted. People, like, it's a hospital. I bet there was someone there who was squirting out some sort of bodily substance and was like almost getting ready to die.
Family friendly.
And then they just reappear?
We're talking about boogers.
Oh my
squirting out their
goodness.
nose.
I was
Boogers
not
showing.
okay. I literally wrote OMG, not okay on my post-it
That's
note.
funny. That's
Hospital.
funny.
Oh, you can't read it.
Hospital.
The hospital in all caps. OMG, not okay.
That's funny. I was
Like,
like, as soon as that
like, it
happened,
was
I was like,
sad.
oh, this is
Oh.
awesome. It was
Oh,
so
man.
good. And then
Ugh.
Jimmy Woo shows up with the magic
the card trick.
With the card trick that he'd been
Classic.
practicing.
Classic.
So, Scott, how'd you do it? How'd you do what? The card trick. Tell me how to do the card trick. And then your mom and I went back and watched Ant-Man and the Wasp, where he's sitting there at his desk practicing it. And then I'm so glad he continued to practice. He got it down. And I told your mom, I was like, I want to learn how to do that. I'm going to learn how to do that.
Close-up magic.
Todd
Close
Turner.
quarters magic.
Close up. Yeah. Keep him distracted. So, and then was it Kat Dennings? Is that her name?
It's not her. That's the actress's name. Her name's not Kat.
Her real name in real life?
In real life, yeah.
So from Thor.
Yeah,
Marcy.
but she's not a student anymore. Now she has her doctorate.
I know it.
And she works for Sword. I'm like, girl, get it.
I was like, Kathy, do you know that your mom's like, I don't know.
Meow, meow.
I know.
Meow, meow, girl.
I know. And Jimmy Woo, she didn't remember him either. But I was like.
But I knew that hexagons were important. Hexagons are the shape of the force field is a hexagon. And anytime in the first 3 episodes, it zoomed in or zoomed out, it was a hexagon.
Really? Did
you notice that?
No.
Well, they like anytime it was like WandaVision, it was like the hexagon shape.
Did you see the preview?
And the force field
is
a hexagon. No.
Look, my eyeballs just got big.
Is it bonkers?
It's bonkers.
Oh, I'm stoked. I am stoked.
She sees vision. She looks and sees vision, and he's all out of color, and his head is gone. The thing is gone.
The thing is gone, and his eyeballs are sunken.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah. So I am so happy with the way this has turned out. I believe that this could have been. This is what Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. could have been if they were allowed.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was like this, kind of.
Not really, because they weren't allowed to really mess much with the movie. This is basically now that Disney owns all of this, owns their own TV station, whatever. Everything can be integrated.
Yeah.
So, maybe we can flush down that terrible Inhumans TV show.
Well, I have some fan theories from TikTok.
Well,
would you like to hear the fan theory? So, one fan theory is that she is.
Who is she?
Wanda,
yes.
Not Agatha.
Mm-hmm.
Wanda has okay. So when the stones were destroyed, they weren't completely destroyed. They were shattered to atoms.
Gotcha.
We know from Ant-Man that there is a realm where you can manipulate and see these things. The quantum realm, right?
Right. Yeah. They go and they steal them.
There's a theory, all of my TikTok right now is fan theories of people
just
thinking
get it
about all
out.
of these. Okay.
You're killing me.
They think that she can feel the pieces of the Mind Stone in the quantum realm calling to her, and that she is trying to formulate them together to create the Mind Stone again, because we know that these stones can never be completely destroyed, that they will always exist in some way, shape, or form. So the thought is that she is rebuilding it in the quantum realm to bring it back to our actual life, which is, as a result, will explode the multiverse, which is why the Doctor Strange movie, The Multiverse of Madness.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also a thought that, when Kat Dennings' character, whose name I don't know,
Marcy.
was Darcy.
Marcy.
She was talking about how there was Big Bang type radiation that was happening.
Right.
That will spawn mutants in this universe.
Oh,
that there will be
well,
an explosion of
here's the
some
deal.
sort because
I
they're going to
read
keep poking at it until it explodes, right?
so
Sword's not going to let
Patrick
this go.
Stewart was approached by Kevin Feige to come back and be Professor X.
No
And
way. What'd he
said
say?
no.
Why?
Because the farewell in Logan was so good, he doesn't think he could do the
It was
character
really
justice.
good.
So he said, no, I'm not going to do it again.
It
So
was really good.
I don't know. That's a good. I think that Wanda's just gone off the deep end and she has created this world where she can have a real life with the man of her dreams. And she is recreating. Now, we know from that they tried to disconnect the stone from Vision and they were so much of it was disconnected. Remember?
Yeah, they had like
Before-
half of it disconnected before it was
yeah.
yanked out.
So I don't know. I don't think that he's going to be. I think he's going to come back. But he'll be different. But we saw where Paul Bettany was hired. Basically, Paul Bettany was called in. He thought he was going to be fired. He was like, he came in and he said, "Well,
He's like,
thanks,
"Well, it
guys.
was
It's
a
been a
good
great
run,"
ride. I've had fun. No hard feelings." And they're like, "Wait, are you quitting?" And he goes, "No,
He's
wait,
like,
aren't you firing me?"
I
And they're
said
like,
that to you.
I
It
know.
was a TikTok.
I know. That's why I was trying to tell our awesome listeners. And they were like, "No, we want to put you in a TV show." And he's like, "Okay, cool."
Yeah, dope.
So
Another
I don't know.
theory is that Agnes, which is
who is-
Agatha Harkness.
we think is Agatha Harkness.
That she 100% is. It's like not, it hasn't been confirmed, but she 100% is.
Or it's just
We haven't
magic.
met her husband yet
Ralph.
in the show. And so
Right.
some people think that he's that devil guy.
Mephisto.
Mephisto.
I said that.
That's a TikTok theory right now. Another TikTok theory is that Wanda went to Agatha and was like, and made a deal with Agatha and Mephisto that they would bring back Vision, but that she didn't, like, anytime you like make like if you
Deal with
make
the devil.
or with fairies or something like that, you have to be extremely specific about the
Monkey
terms
paw.
of the agreement.
Monkey paw.
Or it goes poorly. And so she was like, please bring him back. And so they brought him back, but he's just like looks exactly the same as he used to, which is why she when he like passed away, like
I'll put on a picture. I'll put a picture up on social media of
spooky as heck.
Of the way when the Vision did come back after being destroyed, what he looked like. I'll put it up there.
So they
now,
think,
remember,
and
it's
he
a
did.
90s comic.
He was kind of black and white when he came back. He didn't have, right? Am I imagining that?
I think he was white with outline.
He didn't have
or
color.
Yellowish white. Yeah, he was right. No color.
And so
and no emotions.
Some theory is that they've brought him back. But another,
is she trying to imbue emotions to him?
But she's trying to. But she so they brought him. Agatha and Mephisto brought him back, but that he's like in the way that he was like pre-snap, like right before the snap happened, not like before. And so she's created this universe so she doesn't have to see him. But because after she had just like re-entered real life to push Geraldine far away, when he walked back in, she saw him as he actually was rather than her illusion of him.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Makes sense. Mm-hmm.
Another theory
oh my gosh,
is that he knows what's happening. Because if you watch episode
yes, he does know.
He looks at the camera. He's standing there talking to Wanda, and he like looks at the camera like, what is she saying? And then looks back at Wanda.
Mm-hmm. Or he could be Deadpool. Because Deadpool talks to the camera all the time.
He
breaks the fourth wall.
So
this is how they're going to introduce Deadpool. New fan theory.
We need to get you a TikTok, Dad.
No, I'm not gonna, I don't need a TikTok. I tried to be TikTok famous and it didn't happen.
Dad, you're silly.
So I couldn't even remember my login.
So there are a lot of fan theories out there.
Well, I'm enjoying it, and we'll get another episode on Friday. And
I'm stoked.
I think it goes through the end of February or the 1st of March. I can't remember.
Well, what are we on? 50s, 60s, 70s? I think we'll go to future. I think we'll go to present. So we have 80s, 90s, 10s, 20s.
Oh, so at least I think but this whole episode took place.
It didn't.
You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. So I think we have at least 3 or 4 more of the sitcom episodes.
It's out. It's released. It shows when the last ones are coming out. As a matter of fact, one of the ladies in my small group told us, and I didn't write it down. I should have.
Oh,
We're
well.
investigative journalists. No, we're not. P.S. I had a brain fart last week and said that
Oh yeah, you wanted to
Jed
mention
McKay wrote Ant-Man and Peter Porker. It was Zeb Wells. My bad.
I
Sorry,
fixed
guys.
that on the
I
thing,
know.
Dad.
But we make mistakes. But we do this. We're doing this for us. There you
Funsies,
go.
man. We
Mhm.
like
We
doing
don't
it
even
for
have a
the
Patreon.
funsies.
I don't even know what that is.
I know what a
We're doing it
Patreon
for
is,
the
but it's
funsies.
fine.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Do we have anything
That's
else?
all we
Other
got.
news? I don't think so.
We thank everybody.
Yes. Thank you so much for Nate Turner for creating our logo art. It's phenomenal. He made that in Microsoft Paint. And thank you for Brockwell Nason. He made our intro music and our little theme song. If you all are interested in his stuff, he has a new song on Spotify called Thank You for the Bad Boys. It's a really sweet song. I like it. So you can check him out on Spotify and Apple Music.
Just not a very good Catan player.
Dad, don't bash
What?
Brock's Catan playing.
Sorry, he is good. I'm terrible.
The good Catan, it's not bad.
I'm just being ornery because if he listens all the way to the end, we'll see if I get a text. That'll be funny.
Well, y'all, we're thankful.
Thank you for playing along. Yes,
and for listening.
If you have anything to say, hit us up on Hannah and I's, because the only people listening are friends.
Yeah.
Although we do have a Twitter account.
I'm gonna make you be in charge of that. I'm not good at it. You're better at Twitter than I am.
And I think there's the @sign is on our podcast stuff.
Yeah,
we
if
are
you
now
look at the-
on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Google, and yeah, there you go.
All of them. So listen,
share,
subscribe,
follow.
share.
I don't know why, but apparently that's what people do with
swallowed a fly.
podcasts. That's funny. Did you
Sorry.
really just now?
No,
I killed one
Dad.
today inside the house.
Good for you.
Yeah,
I have a fly spotter somewhere in this apartment.
I used a rag. Had to wash it. So anyway, whether you follow hitting them buttons or not, we're still going to do this because I love talking to Hannah and talking about all this fun, cool stuff. So we will be back next week. For a Super Bowl.
I mean, it's not going to be
right. Well, if we do it live, it'll be Super Bowl Sunday.
It'll be Super Bowl Sunday. You're right. Okay.
We may.
Thanks for listening, friends.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Love ya. Bye. Bye,
done.
our sweet, sweet Facebook people.
Audio Facebooksers.
Thank you for checking in and listening. Joe, we love Catan as well.
Yes. And actually, Joe, we have, whenever someone wins in our family, we have them sign the box.
We do.
I think I've only signed it twice.
Nathan has signed it more than you have.
And so has Andrew. He cheats.
Tyler, Dad. His name is Tyler.
Last name is Andrew.
Yes. You're funny.
Yeah. I'll call him whatever I want. Catan cheater.
He's not a Catan cheater. Okay.
I know, he's just good at it.
Bye, Facebook friends.
Bye, guys.
Thank you for listening in.
All right.